Hey, what's up YouTube? Here's another video by Ratchets and Wrenches, and today I'm going to show you how to remove and replace a sway bar bushing on a 2007 Saturn Ion. Okay, before we get to the repair procedure, here are the symptoms of a bad sway bar bushing. At least on this car, whenever we drove over a bump or a small pothole, you could feel a vibration, also a thumping or a clunking sound. Not really metal on metal, but more like a thumping noise plus vibration. It was worse on the right side, but whenever the left wheel went over a bump or into a pothole, you could also feel it as well. And as to how I was able to narrow it down to the sway bar bushing is, at first I got it on the right side and I started rocking the car back and forth. Well, you can kind of probably hear it in the video, but sometimes it's not as obvious, but I could hear it. Okay, and also we can do a visual inspection from the right side sway bar bushing from top, and there's your sway bar bushing right down there, that guy right there. You know, actually this is looks like it's dried out, and it's not grabbing the sway bar as firmly as it should, and there's a lot of play in there. That's why you feel the vibration. And if you rock it back and forth, you can actually see it move in there. It's hard to show you guys since I gotta hold the camera with one hand and rock the car back and forth, so you guys not gonna see the movement, but you can probably hear it. So yeah, so we're gonna replace both sway bar bushings on the driver and the passenger and the driver's side on this car. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is play our emergency parking brake and place the front of the car on jack stands. Alright, next we'll take off the hubcap and the wheel. Okay, with the wheel off, I can give you guys a better look at the sway bar bushing. It's that guy right there, and it's held in by this bracket, which has got a bolt at the end, 50mm bolt, which we're going to remove next. And as you can see, it's worn out, and there's a lot of play in there, and it feels very dry to the touch too. So yeah, it's time to replace it. And here's the sway bar link, and you know, since you're here, you know, it's a good idea to replace this, but giving us a good wiggle, and there's no movement. A little bit of movement like that's normal, you know. What you don't want is like a click. You know, you don't want it to feel a click or feel any looseness around the joints up here and here. Okay. Alright, here's our bolt. One hell of a long ass bolt. Deceivingly long, I should say. Next we're going to remove our sway bar end link. I'm going to disconnect it where it connects to the strut tower. And this is an 18mm nut that's holding this in. And I've already spread it with some PV blaster in hopes of this thing not spinning inside the end link. Okay, but before we can completely remove this, we're gonna have to jack up underneath the ball joint and raise this a little bit so we can get that out easier. Then just keep it that way, make reinstalling it easier as well. There we go. Okay, with our end link disconnected, we should be able to easily push this up and get this bracket out of the way, and then remove our bushing. Just gonna slide this out. There we go. Okay, now that I got the bushing out, you know, I thought it would look a lot worse, but it's pretty dry around the edges, and it's not firm at all. It's pretty loose, so that's why it's probably got the a lot of play in there. And yeah, that's probably it. So, talking to the parts guy, apparently there's 3 or 4 different sizes of these based depending on your vehicle. And as you can see, this one is a 20 millimeter. So if you need to look at the size, you gotta take out the bushing and make sure when you go to the parts store you know which one to get. Okay, so just gonna go to the parts store now and get 2 of these, and we'll be back to show you how to put them back in. Okay, just got back from the parts store, and as you can see, our new bushing looks a lot smaller than our old one, even though they're both 20 millimeter. The guy at the parts store actually thought I had the wrong size, and but yeah, this has worn out and it's expanded and become really loose and you know, pliable. But as you can see, this new one is pretty firm, and you gotta really force it open if you wanna, you know, you can't really do the same thing to this one. But anyway, it's time to put this back in. And a quick note, as you can remember, the opening went to the rear of the car, so make sure you put it in back the same way. Alright, before I throw this back in there, I'm just going to get some grease and run it on the inside and the outside on the edges, and this should help keep it from drying up and getting damaged and us having the same issue again. Okay, it's time to put our new bushing in, and the easiest way I can find to do this is just use the edge at the end of our sway bar to slide this in. Considering how tight our new bushing is, this is probably the best way. Alright, there we go. Alright, now we're just gonna slide this back in place, and I just realized while sliding this up on this sway bar, we kind of lost most of our grease, so I'm gonna put some grease where this is gonna rest, and that should help lube it up. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to do that since I gotta move the camera, so I'm just gonna get you guys a different angle of this. Okay, now it's time to put this bracket over our bushing, and you gotta make sure when you put this in, this goes inside on to the body, to the frame. Okay, so alright, I think we got it in now. Now we're just gonna put the bolts back in and start tightening it down. Okay, again, before we put our bolts back in, we want to make sure our bushing is properly seated in place, and the bracket is also properly connected to the subframe, and start hand tightening this. And then I'm going to use my my ratchet. Okay, after we tighten it down, we're going to torque it to about 40 foot-pounds. Okay, next, with our jack still under the control arm, we put our sway bar inlet back in. Next, we're going to bolt this down to 30 foot-pounds. There we go. Okay, now we just put our wheel back on and tighten it down, and then lower the car. Then we do the other side, which is the exact same procedure. Then hopefully our clunking and vibration issue will go away. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.